Good evening and welcome to a stormy night here in the shop. Disregard the background noise. We're having some pretty nasty storms coming through. So I just wanted to show off to all you this present I made for my niece's graduation gift. When this video is released, hopefully at that point she would have received it and be loving it. So I'll talk a little bit about it, a little bit of how I did the method to this madness. This is kind of a last minute thing I threw together in the last week. So I'll talk a little bit about some dimensions of it and just kind of how I made it and some of the choices I made, maybe even show off a few of the mistakes. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching. Alright, let's talk about the material, the species of wood, and the construction that I made this box out of. It's a lot larger than I expected, a lot heavier, and that was mainly to some of the woods that I used. I used a multitude of different species of woods to kind of give some differentiations in color. I was a little worried initially that there was going to just be too much and too busy, but I don't think it turned out that way. I think it turned out great. Just me looking at it. I will talk about a few things that I would have done differently, but we'll get into that. We'll talk a little bit about each species of wood, and I'll kind of give you some overall dimensions. Well, let's talk about dimensions first, overall wise. Overall wise, this box is about 12.5 inches wide from door side to door side. We're looking at about 7.5 inches deep front to back, and about 14 3/4 tall. Like I said, definitely got some weight to it. Thanks for the materials of the wood, and we'll talk a bit about that. Starting at the bottom, we'll just go from bottom up. Bottom, we have a very solid piece of white oak at the bottom that provides the weight, provides the stability. This thing is not going to tip over very easily. Not just going to be bumped over. It's just a solid piece of white oak here. Coming up, the towers, I guess we can call it the towers, coming up is a soft maple. And they're pretty plain Jane. You're not going to see a lot of it. I wanted that white to really stand out against the dark of the walnut here. So it's pretty plain Jane on the inside. Nothing fancy there. Talking about the wings. Our wings here fold open. They can hold a multitude of necklaces. I've got 5 hooks inside of each door and then 5 hooks along the wall here. And this is, again, just walnut. These doors, overall size of the door, 7 inches wide. They're cut at 1.5 inches deep starting, and the doors are 12.25 inches tall. And they wing open. I've added some foam material here, just kind of protect the necklaces so they're not bouncing around as the doors open. And then I added these small little hooks here just to kind of hold the doors closed. I'm not the greatest at these little hinges in the back, so that was kind of that idea there. The sides of these doors, you have the walnut frame basically, and the sides of these doors, I use this beautiful pieces of very thin, almost like veneer cherry. Got a lot of figuring in them, so I used that for the sides and for the back. I could have went with something different in the back, but I just had the piece and I put it as the back panel. But that is essentially the doors. And then the front, or we'll come on down. So the front, we have a bank of 5 drawers here. And these drawers are all made of 1/2 inch red oak. And then basically a small piece of 1/4 inch plywood panel bottom. And the dimensions of these drawers, overall dimensions, we got 7.25 long and 6.5 or 5.5 wide, giving you an opening, usable space 4.5. by 6¼ and again put the little foam inserts to kind of keep your rings or earrings or stuff from being damaged and scratched up. And you notice there's yellow in this drawer, there's purple, and I alternated yellow in every other drawer. The yellow and purple is her school colors, so that's why I went with those colors. If I would have done something differently with the drawers, I would have made them a little bit wider. I was kind of working with scrap materials that I have laying around, and this was the width of the boards that I had. I wanted to keep the front face board all one single piece. I don't know if you can really see that now that I put some stain on it, but I wanted one solid continuous grain pattern all the way down. I would have went, like I said, I would have liked to went with something a little bit wider to fill the gap, but it works for now. And then to finish out the top, on top is a beautiful piece of aged cherry on top. I wanted to engrave and do some engraving up here, but I didn't, excuse me, my engraver's a little finicky, so I didn't want to mess this top up. I'd rather just leave it as nice as it is. But that's really it. So we got white oak, we got a combination of white oak, walnut, red oak, maple, and cherry. All domestic woods that are found around her local area. And then that's really it. That was the full assembly process. Everything is glued together. A few brads and stuff here and there. And then I did go in with some wood screws on the bottom to basically shore everything up. But other than that, that's really it. And then just some kind of basic little brass hardware fittings. I would have probably went with something a little bit different if I was selling this. But this is, like I said, it's a gift for someone that I really hope will enjoy it, and hopefully she gets a use out of it for many years to come, and maybe even pass it down to her kids. For the finish of this, I sanded everything down to 220 grit, and then I've had this kind of on the side. I picked this up several months ago. This is a small business, Sutherland Wells. It's handcrafted in Rhode Island. This is a polymerized tung oil that I got from them, and I will say it's the first time I've used it. Absolutely love it. Little shameless promotion for their small company. Just brushed it on. It looks beautiful. It was quick. It sealed up. I left it about a day, 24 hours. Come back, wiped everything down, and then I come back with this Walrus Oil Furniture Wax, which is a combination again of some tung oils, different oils. It looked really nice, gave it a nice finish. I love the feel of it. So it got this natural wood, nice smooth wood finish on it. But that's what I used to finish it with. Nothing really overly fancy. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully she enjoys it and gets many uses out of it for many years to come. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed.